Broadcasting from the world-famous LWDL studio, this is Life with Dan and Lewis. I'm Dan.
And I'm Lewis.
And we're here to talk about life and all the wonderful, magical, horrible, awful, fantastic stuff inside that four-letter word.
Life.
Before we get too far in, if you hear anything you'd like to dig, feel free to go over to buymeacoffee.com/LWDL. Your support is greatly appreciated for this little adventure we are on. Hey, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you also.
How was your week?
My week was actually, it was pretty good. It wasn't bad at all. It turned out to be a 4.5 day work week for me.
Nice.
So it wasn't too bad.
Was it a half day on the beginning of your week, middle of your week, end of your week?
The end of the week.
Oh, nice.
First week coming back from the conference that I went to last week, and Monday wasn't bad. Monday was pretty good with double docket and everything. Tuesday wasn't bad in person. Got a lot of pleas and dismissals done. Wednesday was on Zoom. Wasn't a bad day at all. But Thursday was hectic. I tell my judge, anytime she gets ready to leave to go for a conference or on vacation, that last day is always hectic. If the last day isn't hectic, the day when she returns is going to be hectic.
Right.
So
I guess it's good she got out of the way already.
Yeah, exactly. So we were in person. I still had my Zoom going because I had inmates ordered from the jail on my Zoom. And then, so then she did the regular docket, did a few pleas, and she had to help into another Zoom for the mental health docket. So then the internet wasn't working for connecting to her iPad. So she tried to go to my office, use the internet, so eventually she had to go somewhere else, which further pushed her back. Because we had two dockets. My plan was court starts at 9. I was going to have her done with my court by 11:15, 11:30. Give her about an hour and a half break before she has to go into staffing for the mental health court. And, just time to stretch her legs and just decompress and everything. It didn't happen.
She ran straight through.
And from the time that she got off the bench before she had to go into staffing was like a matter of 15-20 minutes. It was completely horrible.
But see, that's good that you planned for that buffer, because even when stuff goes bad, she made it in time for everything. So
correct. And so we went.
Doesn't make it hectic though, that's for sure.
Yeah, and it was. I remember after morning docket, I got lunch. I came back to my office and I just sat in my office and didn't do nothing for about 10-15 minutes. And I was trying to regroup myself because it was a crazy morning. And then, then we go into the evening docket, and, then after that, things after that, things was got down to a steady pace. Because then, today I went into the office just to send out some emails, do some resets on cases. And, just to, do a little bit of stuff and clear off some files on my desk and things like that. And other than that, that was pretty much it. And so what about you? How was your week?
Yeah, it was good. I was still really busy at work. I had a couple long days, but nothing that can't be managed. I have one little task I want to get done over the weekend. It's just something that I need some uninterrupted time to do, just some planning. And I just need to sit down and focus, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours max. I'm going to try to knock that out Sunday.
Nice.
And it wouldn't be the end of the world if I didn't get it done. It would just be nice to get a jump start on it for next week.
Yeah.
Wednesday we had our last week of bowling. That was perfectly fine. The third and fourth place round match and the first and second place match were both very good. Impressive scores, and people were really into it.
Nice.
I think all 4 of those teams are coming back.
Oh, okay.
So, it's fun.
And you'll be able to take care of them next year?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back home at least one more time. I keep saying this is gonna be my last one, but I am gonna bowl on a team this next year.
Do you know which team you're gonna be a part of?
Yeah, I picked them. I picked my team out. They're a returner team. I talked to them already, so they know.
Nice.
And I specifically wanted to pick a team that we haven't had issues with and was a returner team, because the first 2 weeks is going to be tough because there's a lot I have to do as a rep. The first week, get everyone organized. That's a little bit less of a concern because I can just, walk around, get everyone organized, go throw my balls, walk around, get everyone organized, go through, But I'm going to need my team's help to keep me like engaged, like let me like start waving me down, get my attention if I'm not back when I should be.
Okay.
But then the second week or third week, whenever t-shirts show up, that's going to be really tricky.
Okay.
Because it's a lot, they show up in a box and I have to pull them all out, sort them by color and size, and then I have to run down my list and make sure everyone gets what they got. I'm going to have to do that all while bowling. But last year, a couple of our bowlers helped me organize the shirts and it went by a lot quicker.
Okay.
So I'm hoping I can recruit a couple of my team members to help me get organized. And then it's a lot easier. Like, once you get them all sorted by color and size, then I can just put them in piles for each team. And then I just deliver the shirts to the team and be like, you figure out
who gets what.
Yeah. And if you need to know your sizes, come see me. Then, but I don't have to go, okay, you got a medium navy.
Yeah.
You got a small lime green. That's what takes forever doing it that way.
Okay.
So, yeah. So the first couple weeks might be a little bit tough, but by week 3, if t-shirts are in week 2, or week 4, if t-shirts are in week 3, the thing practically runs itself. All you have to do is help with like big issues.
And how many weeks does it last? Oh,
it's a 6 week.
Oh, 6 weeks. Nice.
Yeah. So this next one starts like April 18th or 22nd, something like that.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So it should be fun. I'm excited to bowl on a team. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Nice.
I could still completely change my mind and end up not doing it, but that's the plan for right now, at least.
Cool. Well, that sounds like a good plan.
We shall see. Yeah. Other than that, yeah, I didn't get a chance to golf. I thought I was going to get a chance. So I was in training, actually. Was that Tuesday, Wednesday? I had all day training. It was just remote. And then on Wednesday, they're like, okay, we're probably going to get done like an hour and a half early. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe I could get the clubs and go do a little bit of golf and then head to bowling. Well, then we ended up getting done about an hour and a half early, but then I looked at my work email and ended up doing a little bit of that. I didn't get a chance to. And then today, I just got busy doing other things and didn't get a chance to go golf. But maybe this weekend. I know we have some yard work we're mutually working on together this weekend. Yep. Maybe Sunday, in addition to my little work session I want to do, maybe I can try to fit some golf in there because it's been a while. That's for sure.
Yeah. And I think the weather is supposed to be pretty good this weekend, so
yeah,
that's always going to be a plus. So Sunday, a high of 80, a low of 52.
What's tomorrow look like?
Tomorrow is a high of 91.
Nice.
Yeah, so we have to start diving into the yard. What time you plan on starting tomorrow with the yard?
Whenever you want.
9:45, 10.
That's fine.
Cool.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just gonna get up and I'll go out there and I'll start laying out. So we gotta lay it out and look at how it's all gonna fit together. And then I bought a masonry disc for my angle grinder so we can cut them if we need to.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. So we're just gonna do the limestone edging around my front planter. It's about just 2 walls we have to do essentially. It's a 4-foot one and then an 8-foot one. And then around the tree, just a 4x4 square around the tree, 4-ish. And we'll figure out like whatever it ends up being, 16 times 3 is. So that's 30 plus another 8 to 48. Yeah, 4 foot.
Are we digging out the old tree?
It's gone.
Huh.
I did that yesterday.
Nice.
Yep. So yeah, that should be fun. Hopefully it won't take all day. We'll see though. You never know.
Yeah. Take breaks here and there.
Yeah, stay hydrated the whole time. That's going to be a big goal, especially if it's going to be hot.
True.
Make sure we drink lots of water and stay hydrated. Anyways, that's not what the listeners are here for, to hear us planning our landscaping adventures.
That's for the end part of the show.
I guess so. Before we tell you about our friends, we'd like to ask you to be our friend too. Life with Dan and Lewis is actively looking for new brands, podcasts, people, and companies to partner with. If you're interested, drop us a note at lifewithdanandlewis@gmail.com.
That's lifewithdanandlewis@gmail.com.
Remote working? Remoting. Follow along on a journey of a new job, new facility, new coworkers, and a new normal. Remote working. Remoting. Inspired by real life, enhanced by imagination. Follow along at remotingblog.com.
Remoting blog.
Eating gluten and dairy-free can be challenging. GFDF Eating aims to show all the delicious food you can make and buy without sacrificing taste, diversity, or quality. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram at GFDF Eating. We'd like to hear from you. After all, we are doing this for your entertainment. Drop us a note and let us know where you're listening from. Or if you have any ideas for new segments, things you'd like us to stop doing, do more of, less of, or anything at all, email us at lifewithdaniellewis@gmail.com.
That's lifewithdaniellewis@gmail.com.
So I thought we'd take a break from some of our normal topics for this season. We've been talking a lot about online dating and dating in general in 2023 in this world we live in. And we talked about work and the gig economy and all that kind of stuff. And I thought we'd talk about something different this week. And one thing that is coming up this weekend is daylight savings time.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to lose 1 hour of sleep.
Yeah, we're going to spring ahead, as they like to say. And it got me thinking, didn't we get rid of this last year? So I did a little bit of looking, and it turns out we tried to.
Yeah.
The Senate did pass the bill, and the House chose not to vote on it.
Womp, womp, womp.
So Senator Rubio introduced the bill again, and he's hoping that Congress can get that passed this year. So this may be the last time we have to go through this exercise.
So, when it passes,
That's right.
will we gain an hour or lose an hour?
That's a good question. Let's see here. So it would make daylight savings time permanent. So what we're doing now, the spring ahead, would be permanent time. So we would never fall back again.
So we'll lose an hour forever.
I don't know if it works like that, but I'll play along.
Needless to say, we'll have more sunshine.
Overall, more sunshine, yeah.
Yeah.
So then it got me thinking, why do we even do this? And I've always heard broadly like farmers.
Yeah.
That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense because we're not changing the amount of sun we get. We're just changing what time we call the sun.
Exactly.
So that seems kind of silly. So then I did a little bit of research, and it turns out that the reason we started this was back in World War I. Countries used the change in time to save some power and fuel. And then at the same time, we were trying to keep our economy going during World War I. And there were studies that were showing that Americans are more likely to shop if it was still light outside when they left work. So shortly after World War I, the practice was abolished, and then it seems to not have been a thing until 1966. And there is a thing called the Uniform Time Act that was passed. And I think what that was doing, I think different states were doing their own thing, and it was getting really confusing. So then they passed this Uniform Time Act, at which point Hawaii and Arizona said, nah, we're good.
Yeah.
And just chose not to ever observe it.
Good for them.
So this year, daylight saving times will begin on March 12th, which
Sunday.
will be in the past for those listening to it. But yeah, coming up for us. And it will last until November 5th, pending any legislation that's going on right now.
Interesting, because I always heard that it had to do with farming.
Right. And I just don't see how that, helps, because like a farmer would just get up when they need to get up.
If the sun's out, then get up
just
sooner?
Really, the time is just labels that we put on the sun.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, it's just a matter of, are you going to get up at 6 or are you going to get up at 7?
Right. So I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how that whole farming myth got started. But hopefully Senator Rubio and the other members of the Senate and House will get this passed this year. Looks like there is some opposition from some different lawmakers who say that there's some benefits to keeping the daylight savings the way it is because it standardizes sort of the daylight hours and whatnot. But
I mean,
it looks like there's also some research, including research from the Society for Research on Biological Rhythms, that found that there are greater advantages to making standard time permanent. Oh, as opposed to daylight savings time. I don't see why it matters which one you make permanent. I think it just matters that you make one permanent.
exactly.
But I don't know. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned for more, breaking news on daylight savings time. But until we get this Uniform Time Act, that's not what it's called. The new one is called the Sunshine Protection Act. Passed, we'll still have to do this spring forward and fall back nonsense.
Sunshine Protection Act.
And you can thank Senator Marco Rubio for that name.
I mean, this is so ridiculous. Like, come on, people. Let's just vote. Let's take a unanimous vote. Approve this, and let's get on with our lives. It doesn't, we're in 2023. It doesn't pertain to us anymore. Which is another thing that Dan and I have also talked about. How many laws that have been put into place in your state, in your city, in your county, that pretty much don't pertain to you anymore,
right?
Because they were like created over 100 years ago. So this is one of the things. We don't really care about this anymore,
right?
It doesn't affect us. Like, let's just move forward and just have one standardized time.
Agreed. All right, I was doing some reading this week and came across a book by Ram Dass. And Ram Dass is he is a yoga practitioner, a psychologist, a free thinker, if you will. And he is sort of credited with bringing the whole idea of Eastern psychology or Eastern philosophy to the U.S. back in the 70s, and he was active up until the 2000s. And so he went over to India and he studied with different gurus, and he ended up writing a lot of books and introducing America to the Eastern philosophy. And so I just found a couple quotes of his, and I thought we'd just discuss them. I thought they were particularly interesting, and I like this first one a lot. If you don't have room for an elephant in your living room, don't make friends with an elephant trainer. So it just got me thinking, what is he talking about here? And I think what he's saying is, don't invite things into your life that you don't have the space for. So this could be people, jobs, hobbies. Yeah, a variety of things. And the context I heard it in, it was talking about people, and keeping your friends group not small, but curated, and not inviting people into your friends group that you don't have adequate space for on two fronts. Not just that you don't have space for them, but that you also don't have time to give back to them. You have to balance that space or that time or that commitment. Correct. That you have. So don't be committing to an elephant if you only have room for a mouse.
Correct. Which is something that in today's world and our society, we tend to, have the elephant in the room, but maybe we only have room enough for a chihuahua.
Right. This does speak to the overcommitting nature of society.
As parents, as me being a parent, my son, 11 years old, 5th grader, plays sports. And sometimes, I want to go to other activities with my job in a political realm. But at the same time, it's during the same time where my son has sports. So at that point in time, I have to pick and choose which is more important and which is going to have a greater effect.
Right.
being a part of a political arena is good for political goals and career goals, but being there for your child is more important. I mean, political stuff is going to always be around. Your child is going to always be around, but your child is not going to always be an 11-year-old.
Right.
Your child is going to grow up. It's going to, so, and then which one is more memorable and more valuable to not just you, but also to the other person that you're, doing it with.
That's a good point.
So it can also be the same thing as, leaving one job, going to another one. Is that job really for you? Or are you doing it for alternative motives or whatever the case may be? Or, buying a house, do I buy a house that, is sufficient enough for my family needs and, the price is within my budget? Or just because I have the extra, let me go buy a bigger house, which we have too much space and it takes more money for me to put into that.
Right.
And so, you have so many different things, but the whole gist of the point is, if you can't take care of an elephant, don't do it.
Right. Yeah. A lot of what Ram Dass talks about is really, there's a lot of wisdom in what he says, but a lot of it comes back to accountability for your own actions. So yeah, it's like, this is like thoughtfulness into what you choose to take on.
Yes.
So it's very self-accountable or self-focused. You have the choice to make here whether or not you should be bringing an elephant into the space.
Yeah.
I like that aspect of it a lot.
Yeah, it's all self-evaluation.
Right. On that same note, this next quote I pulled was, "You cannot rip the skin off as a snake. You must molt." I like that, because the idea of a molting snake and the idea that we are like that shows that we are like working through something to improve.
Exactly.
It's not just a instant change.
Yeah.
I really like that.
It's true because, I look at it from a relationship aspect of it.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Because
big time.
There's different things within a relationship where, you come to the point where you go to that reevaluation of the relationship and you see what's working, what's not working, what you want your partner to change and what the other person wants. Like in my relationship, what I want my partner to change and then what she wants me to change. And then from there, we have to have the understanding and the mindset that says, okay, I have expressed to them what I want them to change and vice versa. She has expressed to me what she wants me to change. But guess what? It's not going to happen in an instant. It's going to take time. As long as that person is making progress and moving towards it, that's really what you're looking for, and that's really what you want. Is for them to make that progress, to make that change, and be consistent with it, and not resort back, to the old behavior. And so it's just like a snake. If you ever have, or if you haven't, pull up a video and watch a snake shed its skin. It's a grueling process. It's an irritating process. It's a very dangerous process because the snake is most dangerous when it sheds its layer of skin over its eyes because it is temporarily going through a blind state to where it can't see anything. And so it's willing to attack any and all things, which as us humans is when we molt and we go through that transitional period, there's going to be some period during that time to where you're going to be most vulnerable. And in your vulnerability, you're going to be most willing to attack.
Interesting.
And it's in that moment in time is where, you begin to get your full
steam power behind you.
Yeah. And changing for the better.
You're reaching your full potential right at that peak of vulnerability.
Correct.
Wow. That's some good shit right there.
Yeah. And I think most of the factors, you just have to give time for the change to happen.
Right.
And you could not be in a relationship. It could be just something that, You just have to do, professionally for yourself, personally for yourself. And it's just, okay, well, let me start to make this change. You set goals for yourself and you begin to start on this change. It's not going to happen overnight.
Right.
Although we wish that it would. We wish that, we can just snap our fingers, blink our eyes, and boom, it's done and 100% perfect. But any change that you do, whether it's sticking to a diet plan and losing weight, or getting back into the gym, building muscles, or becoming financially responsible and building a savings, anything is going to take time. You might be able to set aside maybe $5 a week this month, and then next month you might be able to set aside $10 a week, and by the end of the year you're setting aside $250 every week, building up to your savings. But it all starts at a point to where you just have to say, you know what, I'm about to just jump in here and do it, and with the understanding that, hey, my idea of saving until I get to $1,000, it's not gonna happen overnight. It may take me a month, it may take me 2 months, but guess what, I'm gonna get it done.
Sure. I pulled a couple other quotes, and one's pretty simple, and then they're both on the easier side to understand, I think. But the first one it's very simple, 3 words: understand the possibilities. And I think what he's getting at here is more that introspection, right?
Yeah.
And allowing yourself to explore possibilities. Don't build a box before you see what you need to put in it.
Yes.
And I think, there's someone that I consider a mentee, someone that I mentor, and she has this perpetual habit or repeating habit of not exploring opportunities because she has already made her mind up about how it's going to turn out. And like, for example, she won't even apply for a new job because she's afraid she might get it, and it might mean there's change and there'll be new coworkers and there's this and this and this, all in the meanwhile complaining
about our current situation.
Right. So, she has a solution. She has job offers, but she won't pursue them because she's already determined that they're not going to work out.
So she sets herself up for failure even without...
It's worse than setting yourself up for failure. She's not giving herself the opportunity to fail.
And failure is not a bad thing.
Right.
Like if you leave one job...
you know what failing is? It's the first attempt in learning.
Yes.
FAIL.
If you leave one job and then go to another one, and you only took that job because it might have offered you more money, might have offered you more health benefits, or might have offered you something different, or an ability to do remote working. You don't have to go to an office. There's a variety of different things of why people change jobs. If you do it and it doesn't work out, hey, it's not the end of the world. There's other jobs out there. Just hop back onto the bandwagon and just be like, okay, well, I'm gonna ride this job out until I find something different, find something back into my niche of what I like to do, and then just go with it.
Right.
It's not the end of the world, but you would never know until you just take the leap of faith and just do it.
Right. Agreed.
Understanding the possibilities are endless. You just got to understand, like, this.
I think that's the point right there.
Is a possibility, and there should be nothing that hold me back from this possibility.
Right. Exactly. Final quote I pulled: if you want to change your environment, you need to change your head. And we talk about this all the time. Stuff just doesn't magically happen. You have to put effort into it.
Yeah. And then also another thing that when you said that and I read this is, how many times do we have negative thinking?
Right.
You want to change your environment? Change the negative thinking.
Yep. Change your head.
If you want to change the outlook on work, change the way you think about work.
Yep.
If you want to change the outlook on your relationship, change the way you view your partner or your life.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to change the outlook on your friends group, change the way you view and look at your friends.
Yeah.
If you want to change your family environment group, you're dreading going to Christmas dinner, you're dreading going to Thanksgiving dinner.
Right.
Change the way you view that outlook. You'd be like, you know what? This is going to be the best Thanksgiving dinner we ever had. This is going to be the best, family get together we ever had. Change the way you think from negative to positive, and it will allow the universe, if you will, to put out those positive vibes. So that way you create the atmosphere that you want to be in.
Yeah. If you have a partner or a friend that repeatedly does things that annoy you, and this person is worth keeping in your life, change the way you think about that thing. Don't give them the chance to annoy you. Whatever they are doing that annoys you, do it before they have a chance to do it. Take care of it so that they don't have a chance to annoy you.
Yeah.
This is changing your head about something. Don't give them the chance to annoy you. Now, this is the huge caveat, as if this person is worth keeping in your life.
Yes.
If they are a hindrance to your life, don't go changing your life to accommodate them. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if someone is worth keeping in your life, but there's something that every time they do it, it annoys the living daylights out of you, don't let them annoy you. Solve the problem before it happens so that everyone gets through this thing peacefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is what I just described as a real world scenario of changing your environment by changing your head.
Yeah.
Don't let someone annoy you, and then your environment's going to be in harmony and more peace.
Yeah, because ultimately you already know the person and how they are, and if they're not going to change, I'm like, okay, well, I already presume this person is to be this way, so this A, B, C, D thing that they do, it no longer bothers me because I already know how it is. If they have done it 100 times, what makes you think 101 times is going to make anything better?
You have two options: either don't be annoyed by it, or don't let them do the thing that you're annoyed by. Go solve it for them before they don't even talk about it. Just go take care of it, and then they don't have the chance to make a bad choice.
Exactly. This is great because right now in my relationship, we're going to a point to where I've been doing the laundry,
This is a perfect example.
Doing the dishes. We're still taking turns cooking, but I'm doing more of the cooking. And whereas before, Alicia was more of the one that was doing the laundry, doing the cooking, doing the dishes. And now she's tired. She doesn't want to do it.
Right.
Not tired as in physical tired, but just like tired because she
doing the same old thing all the time.
Exactly. Yeah. So now.
So you get annoyed by the laundry not being done. So you have a choice. Do you let her not doing the laundry annoy you, or do you just go do it?
Exactly. So my thing is, like, I think it's kind of fun when I start to do the laundry because I turn the water on, and I've been watching these different things on TikTok how they put powdered soap and liquid soap, and they get the suds all together, then they put the clothes in. I find that fascinating, and so I've been doing that. So laundry time has changed your head. Oh, this is boring.
So now, not only are you not going to let yourself be annoyed by the laundry not being done, but you're actually going to enjoy doing the laundry.
Exactly.
So you've done a double twist on the scenario.
Yeah. And then so I've gone to the store and I bought different fabric softeners. Okay. And I found one brand that releases the fragrance into the clothes that I just love. So what do? When I do the laundry, take it out, give me a good big sniff of it. I'm like, man, this smells so good.
Right.
And then I incorporate my daughter into it. So like when I'm doing clothes, I'm like, hey, baby, you want to help me put up your clothes? And she's like, yeah. So she'll come get her, underwear, her socks and stuff. Sure. And she'll be willing to help put that stuff up. So instead of dreading it, which we talked about last season,
right?
I'm going to find some way to make fun of this. And, dishes, what I do? I mean, doing dishes is still, if you put them in the dishwasher, that's still part of doing it. So I just throw them in the dishwasher and, just let it go.
Yep.
Cooking, I used to have the excuse of like, well, I just got off work. I'm tired. Well, she works too and she's tired. So like, yesterday, for example, she got home before I did. She started cooking. And then at some point in time in her cooking, I took over and finished cooking.
Sure.
And I remember telling her, I was like, hey, once you started cooking, when did this become my thing?
Mm-hmm.
What happened there? You change your attitude, you change your head towards it. Next both of you guys are in the kitchen cooking together, spending that quality bonding time together, where before it was just like, okay, well, you cook, I'm going to go to the bedroom.
Right.
Or you cook, I'm going to sit in the living room and watch TV. Now you change your attitude, you change your head towards whatever it may be, and now you become better. And ultimately, make your relationship stronger if it has something to do with the relationship. Relationship
Definitely.
is not just a lover's relationship.
Sure.
It could be a friendship. It could be family oriented. It could be work oriented. There's a lot of different things behind relationship. It could even be between you and your child.
Sure.
So, ultimately, the way you view things negatively or positively will affect the outcome of that event.
Right.
Or your environment.
Sure.
So you want better? Change the way you think about it. Change your head. Turn off that dial of negativity. Like we said with the other quote, you cannot rip the skin off as a snake. You must molt.
Same here.
When you change the way you think, I'm not saying that every day you're going to wake up, you're going to have positive thoughts. Sometimes you're going to have negative thoughts.
Right.
But you have to start by gradually changing it.
Yep.
Once you change it, overall, your viewpoint, your world, your mindset will become better, and you'll move away from the negative stuff, move into the positive stuff,
Right.
and you will attract that positivity into your life, and that will become your norm.
Right. I don't know where I heard this one. This is not a Ram Dass quote, but change isn't a waterfall in which you go over at one time and you are changed. Change is an incremental process of continually getting better and better each day, each hour, each minute.
Correct.
It's not a waterfall. You don't just fall over this thing and I'm changed.
Yeah.
It's an incremental building blocks. You continue to do these little changes, and gradually you do bigger and bigger changes until you find yourself being able to accept large changes and moving towards greater positivity in all aspects of your life.
Correct. And one thing I can say as a testament, I changed my environment by telling myself every morning, I'm going to attract wealth today. I'm going to attract wealth into my life today.
That's a good one.
And what happened? I started this a little bit after I moved into my new place. What happened after that? I got a side job working with you, and I attracted extra income into my house. Occasionally, I buy a scratch off, $5 scratch off. I win $100. I'm attracting wealth into my life. So it starts by changing the way you view things. Like I can buy a scratch off and be like, you know what, this is just gonna be another loser, but oh well, at least I only spent $5. But if you buy it, be like, hey, this $5 is gonna make me $20, or this $5 is gonna make me $100, or this $5 is gonna make me, hey, $1,000.
Sure.
I used to limit myself. I'm like, hey, you know what? I bought this $20 scratch off. I was like, if I win 500 on it, I'll be happy. No, I want to win the mega. If the top prize is $1 million, I want to win that $1 million. I'm going to change my attitude, change my thought process. And if I buy a $20 scratch off, I'm going for the big thing. I'm going for the $1 million.
I like that.
And it's and so from there, I started to attract wealth. Like wealth is anything that you obtain that gives you a surplus than what you have that you work for.
Sure.
So if I, buy a $20 scratch off and I win 500, I just made $480 in wealth because it's $480 that
you didn't have before.
I didn't have before. And I can take that money and set it aside. I can recoup my $20 that I invested into it. And the rest of it is just for, it's a surplus. So this is really big because I feel like a lot of people don't take the opportunity to change their thinking.
Agreed.
And I honestly feel that just by people changing the way that they think can ultimately change their world and the world of people that are dependent upon them, whether you have dependents, whether you're in a supervisory or management position in a job, you change the way you're thinking. Everybody that's subordinate to you will ultimately benefit from the way you do it. And together as a whole, have a new positive attraction to the outlook on life and the things that comes with it.
Agreed. Anything coming up for you this week?
Well, tomorrow I'm going to go over to the brewer house and do some landscaping.
Yeah.
And then on Sunday, we haven't been to church in a while, and I think we might hit church and then go out to SeaWorld. Let the kids have some fun. It's spring break for the kids next week.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to be in and out of the office here and there. Monday, I'm going to be home with the kids. Tuesday, I got to go into the office. Wednesday, I think I have a lunch meeting. And then after that, one of these days, I'm going to get the kids out to SeaWorld throughout the week and let them have some fun while they're on spring break and try to do some other stuff with them. And, you know, just see what happens and how it goes. What about you?
Yeah, really nothing special coming up this week. Just another, week with the regular job. No bowling, so that'll be kind of a nice extra night I get back to myself.
What if you take up golf in the place of bowling?
I might do that, yeah. I might have some other out-of-county work coming up here too, some consulting work coming up for another project. But yeah, we'll just have to see how that goes. Not a whole lot going on this week. Just another week of living the dream, another week in paradise.
There you go.
And, growing and changing and all those good things.
Another week to make the change to make the world a better place.
That's right.
It starts with 2 people, and here we are.
With that, we'll call it a wrap for this week. We'll be back next week with another episode. Until then, check out our new limited series, The Spotlight with Dan. New episodes will be coming periodically throughout this season. Remember to check us out on all the social medias. That's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Life with Dan and Lewis.
That's at Life with Dan and Lewis.
And on our YouTube channel at the same place at Life with Dan and Lewis.
Check us out on YouTube. Live videos, well, not live, but videos will be coming shortly at Life with Dan and Lewis on YouTube.
Thanks for listening today. More episodes can be found anywhere podcasts are found or on our website at lwdl.buzzsprout.com.
That's lwdl.buzzsprout.com.
Until next time, ask yourself, what have you done today to help someone else? Make good choices.
And love one another.